Hey guys, it's psychic medium Sarah Lemos. Good morning, good morning, good morning. What a weekend I had. I have to say it was good. It was very good. I got to spend 3 incredible days at the Palmer House. Excuse me, a little verklempt. And got to investigate the Palmer House. The Palmer House is really cool. It's a very special location that I've been to several times. And every time I'm there, I have an experience. Every time I've been there, um, I've seen something crazy or experienced something crazy. And this time did not let me down. And I'm going to tell you guys all about that. But first, I'm going to throw out a message in the tribe that I am live on YouTube. Come join Mystic Mornings right now, 10 a.m. See if anybody comes on and hangs out with me this morning. So I spent a weekend at the Palmer House. Good morning. Good morning. And the Palmer House is really, really cool. I've been, I think 3 or 4 times to the Palmer House. And you guys know I love to use my gifts as a psychic medium to also paranormal investigate. So I was able to give a gallery reading, which was just phenomenal. It was so much fun. And really enjoyed myself. And then we split up at night to do the investigations. And we investigate on 3 different levels of the building. So upstairs is where Raymond's room is. And then I believe the kids' room is on the 3rd floor. And then on the middle floor is where the restaurant is. And it's closed down, and we get to go in there too and see what we can find. And also the basement. And if you've been to the Palmer House, you know all about the basement because it is absolutely crazy with energy. So, with paranormal investigators, they always have their tools. They always have a REM pod, EKG meter. They have just you name it. And there's so many amazing tools to read energy. And I don't have anything like that. I really focus on me and my body. And I was able to teach a new class on paranormal and metaphysics and how to use your body as a tool. And so we did this technique where you tap and open the heart chakra, right? We stimulated the heart chakra. And the heart chakra, guys, so I'm sure a lot of you already know this, but it's the balancing point between the lower chakras and the upper chakras. So it is the balance point between Mother Earth and Father Sky. It is the connection to earth and spirit. Okay. So I thought to myself, let's try something new. Let's teach everybody how to stimulate their heart chakra and create energy and a vibration and frequency of love, right? And just see what it does. And so everybody was paranormal investigating. And then at one point, everybody gets a turn with me and Shane Pittman. You guys know Shane. And we got a chance to sit at a table. And everybody would come in and we'd sit around the table. And this was really cool. And Shane is really awesome because he gets everybody connected and calmed and into that, like just being aware of the surroundings and the sounds, because you want to know what are people sounds versus spirit sounds. So it made a lot of sense to me, right? And Shane had his flashlight, or a flashlight, I guess, in front of him on the table. And we were listening and we got a little bit of noises, and yes, as you will, and we were trying to pay attention and figure out who was making the noises or what was making the noises, I guess I should say. And then I said, Shane, can I try something? And Shane was like, sure. And I was like, I would like to stimulate the heart chakra and see if anything changes in the room. And he's like, okay, that's interesting. And I'm like, yeah, I just want to see if we get more information in this space by opening up the heart chakra, opening up ourselves and like really connecting. He's like, let's do it. So I had everybody in the room, which was probably 15 people, start tapping on their hearts. And then we all put our hands down and we kind of just waited. And all of a sudden, Shane's flashlight, Pippin, hey, Shane's flashlight rolled into the middle of the table, stopped, rolled all the way back to him. No joke. And we all kind of were like, was that, did anybody touch the table? Did it, everybody does the thing, did anybody touch the table? Did did somebody breathe on it? Did anything happen? And no, it moved by itself. So it moved, well, of course, not by itself, but it moved from where Shane was sitting into the middle of the table, and then it rolled back. It was crazy. So we also noticed that people that were sitting in the circle were experiencing certain emotions, like one person's seat, right? That person was experiencing emotion and got really emotional and started crying. 2 seats over got a headache. 3 seats over got a stomach ache. 4 seats over got sweaty. They didn't know why they were sweaty, right? Well, every time we had a new group, no joke, those chairs, if not that chair, the chair next to it, they did the exact same thing. So it was so cool, you guys. It was so freaking cool to see this happen. So the third group that came down, and it was great because we had the Ovilus on, and the Ovilus was didn't say basement, said cellar. And I'm like, oh yeah, this group is going to the cellar next. And they're like, it was telling us where the people were going to go, because the Palmer House has a lot of investigations. It was really interesting to see that it was like the spirits were telling us where they were going to go next. It's like, okay, this is what we do, but this is what you guys do. And it was crazy. It was just insane. And the third group came in. Sorry, guys, I'm going to contact see if I can contact the tribe again. The third group that came down, sat down, same thing, had the emotions. Pippin. They started having emotions. And hold on, YouTube now. Sarah Lemos. Sorry, guys, hold on 1 second. People are having a hard time finding this in the tribe. So the let me see if I can do this instead. Sorry, guys, hold on. So the third group comes down, and we do the same thing. We do the exact same thing, and everybody in their seats have the same kind of experience. And we were like, Shane and I are like freaking out at this point. We're like, how could this be? Like, how could people be sitting in the exact same spots and having the same emotions, having the same pain in their body, having sweats? It was crazy. And we were just blown away. And so again, I said, well, we tried this with another group. Let's go ahead and try to tap our heart chakra again. So, because I really want to see if this will stimulate anything in the room. So we do it again. We all start tapping our heart chakras, right? And no shit, excuse my language, no joke, the flashlight, the flashlight that's right in front of Shane rolls again and rolls back. I'm not joking. And it was just the most cool. It was so cool. It was so cool to see. And I wonder, like, I'm being serious. I wonder if, oops, let me see if that works. I wonder if stimulating the heart chakra didn't do something. Same spirit hanging in the same spot. That's what I'm wondering, if they were just standing around us. And so because I had everybody open, everybody, knower, seer, feeler, whatever, was feeling the same thing, was experiencing the same thing. So really interesting. Very interesting, amazing time at the Palmer House. It was just an amazing time. Had incredible readings in my group reading. Really spot on readings that were really cool to watch everybody kind of just have an experience. I also gave messages from spirit guides. So this is something else that I decided to do, was how was the cemetery? Oh yes, we also went to the cemetery and it was just beautiful. We did have an experience with a young woman at a gravesite. I saw her as like 12 to 15, but she would have been 20, but I didn't see her like that. I saw her as a spirit that was like 12 to 15 years old. And she was just beautiful. She was just moving in the sunlight, and she had golden blonde hair and ribbons in her hair. And it was just really cool. You know, as a psychic medium, I'm used to working with those that have already gone to spirit and choose to come back. And some of these, I don't have all the answers, but some of these spirits that I run into don't feel the same. They don't feel the same. But it was an incredible experience, and it was just beautiful out. It was absolutely gorgeous out. And it's so fun to be able to go to the Palmer House and hang out with 45 people who feel the same way about spirits as you do, that are out to find answers, that want to try new things. So what I did was continue on my idea of megahertz on the heart chakra, and started playing the heart chakra frequency in different locations in the Palmer House to see if it would get noticed. And down in the basement, we were in the back room, and I was with Hannah. Yay, I got time with Hannah. It was so great. And we were down in the basement, and we had a bunch of different equipment because everybody brings their equipment, which is awesome. And we were down in the basement, and I started putting on this music, and I said, "Can you hear it?" And the REM pod went off. And I'm like, "Can you see it?" No response. I'm like, okay, this is cool. This is freaking cool. And I'm like, "Do you like it?" And it was like, it was very clear communication for a very short period of time, but very clear communication that, whomever was in the room with me liked the music and could feel it. Well, megahertz is all about frequency, and it's frequency for the heart chakra. So you can play bowls, you can use all kinds of things to stimulate the heart chakra, but you can also listen to megahertz, or the hertz of the heart. And that frequency did something. So I'm going to continue to do this at different locations, at paranormal events, and see what I get to try something new. I also started to pull crystals out to see if they could see crystals in a different way. So that's another thing that I'm going to do on investigations from now on, and see if there's certain crystals that are brighter for them versus they can't see them or they don't experience them. I just want to see if hertz and frequency have something to do with it, because that's what our tools use. But I want to see, as a psychic medium, something that I can do different to get information. If that makes sense. Does that make sense? So I'm so glad to have so many of you guys here today. It's Mystic Mondays with Psychic Medium Sarah Lemos. And we are, of course, going to pull a card. We are going to talk about things in the paranormal world. And then we're going to talk about my UFO experience. My experience with the UFOs, which I haven't shared with a lot of people. So I think this will be a good conversation today. I've had 2 different experiences, and I will be sharing both of my experiences, and would love it if you guys would share your experiences with me. Of course, Michigan Paracon is this upcoming weekend. So many of you are getting ready for Michigan Paracon, the last of the last. It is the last time they are doing Michigan Paracon. So many people are running out there and getting ready for Michigan Paracon. That's really exciting. I won't be out there, but I'm sure it's going to be a hoot and a holler with everybody else that is headed out that way next weekend. So that's really cool. This is a special week, like every other week is special. We have a choice to make a change in our lives. We can make a new decision. We can go in another direction. Every week is a new chance. Every moment is a new chance to change, make something new, become who you've always wanted to be. So I like to pull a card. And when I pull a card, it's just a suggestion. All it is a suggestion on maybe how to look at something that you're going through. So I want you guys to take a minute and think of something that's going on in your life that you want an answer to. Just, something that you want to know if so-and-so is going to come over. You want to know if you're going to get the job, you want to know whatever. And we're going to look at it in a different light today, okay? We're going to look at it in a different way. And they're telling me number 3. Ooh, interesting. Rescue. Don't worry, guys. I'll show it to everybody. Rescue. It's a beautiful card, isn't it? Rescue. And of course, I believe that it is beautiful if we have friends and family that can rescue us. I think it's beautiful when our animals rescue us. I believe it's awesome when our family can rescue us from a situation or help us out. But ultimately, guys, the truth is this is about you rescuing you. This is all about you deciding that people are awesome, animals are awesome, and family is so awesome, you guys. I mean, we are so blessed, aren't we? Aren't we just so blessed? Let's say thank you. Thank you for our amazing family, our amazing friends, and our amazing animals, right? But the truth is that it's okay to say, I'm going to do what it takes. I'm going to do what it takes, okay, to make this happen for me. And a lot of times we're waiting on somebody else or something else to save us or make it happen or what have you. And I understand that we feel like everyone else has the power, but that's not true. Even if you're waiting for a promotion at work, you can make an appointment with HR and have a talk with them. If you are ready to buy a new car and you've been waiting for your husband's permission, you can sit that person down and say, today's the day where you make that choice. You have the power to make all the choices that you need to create the world that you want. So this is just a message from Spirit, guys. Do what you want with it for this week. But I say, rescue yourselves. Rescue yourselves. Don't let somebody else do it for you. Why? It's good to have it. It's good to have it. But rescue yourselves. Rescue yourselves. Let's see what it says. Yes, totally need. Oops. Here we go. Debbie says, I totally needed to rescue myself right now. I'm just doing the same thing and not making changes to do better. Debbie, one thing that I suggest is make a list of 5 things, just 5 things that you can do in the direction of what you're wanting to accomplish. Now, a lot of people are listening to this today and you're not going to do anything about it. Totally okay. That's up to you. But those of you that are ready to make life-changing, life-altering decisions to create the life that you want, the one you want, make a list of 5 things that will get you there. And then just get in motion of one of them. What I mean by motion, guys, is do something towards it. All right? Thank you, Amy. I appreciate it. How's everybody doing this morning? Everybody doing all right? This is a good day, right? We're going to look at We're going to look at a be present idea, a way to be present in our daily lives. When your mind wanders, bring it back with deep breathing. Guys, my mind wanders all the time. So this is a great one. Coming back to what we are trying to accomplish. And when we get off, on the wrong road and we're in poor me, I can't have, take a deep breath and get back to where you want to be. You have the power here. You absolutely have the freaking power here. So that's a great one. Now let's look at one about relaxation. Relaxation. How can we relax? Well, let's see. Light a candle and enjoy the scent and your surroundings. Guys, this is something I talk about in Pathways to Spirit because it's so magical. A candle costs $5, right? It's like, holy crap. I mean, it's like gold anymore. But hey, you can get yourself a really nice candle and burn it and enjoy the smell. Like, I love burning candles throughout my house. It's so homey. And I talk about this a lot, that our houses are our nests. Our houses are our nests. And so having a place to come home that is safe and cozy. And let me tell you, smells are important to that. A smell that feels good to you, that reminds you of home, comforting sweet or comforting spicy or what have you, whatever it is for you, creating ambiance and connection in your home. But also it's the light of the candle. Just looking at the outside of a candle and watching it dance is so relaxing, and it brings us to this moment, because this is all we have. Guys, this is all we have, is the moment that we are currently in. It could change in a heartbeat. So also, how can we reflect this week? Write down your worries in a journal. I don't know if I would necessarily agree with that. To reflect, I don't think we need to reflect on our worries. Respect your mindful cards, but I'm going to kibosh on this one. I would say write down the things that you're grateful for. Like attracts like, okay? Don't forget that. Like attracts like. So if you're sitting in your shit stuff, then you need to get out of it and step into something with higher vibration and frequency. And one thing, I just saw an orb. That was cool. One thing you can also do is play some music. Play some music. Get yourself into the vibe that you want to be in. The vibe that you want to be in. So, yeah. So let's get to UFOs. First of all, is any of you guys out there on either one of my forums right now, have you ever witnessed a UFO? Have you? Just a yes or a no, or something that you think was not of this world, something that you think was very much aliens, UFOs. I have. One of my first investigations I ever did was with Clyde Lewis. And Clyde and I have, okay? And no, okay? And Clyde Lewis asked me to do a case with him out of Savi's Island in Washington. And yeah, and do you believe? Give me a, do I believe or I don't believe? Because some people don't believe in aliens, and that's all right. And we did a case out of Savi Island. Now, some of you guys know this case. Excuse me. It was the fourth ever recorded. I believe it was the fourth ever recorded. And this is before we had, it was back when we, way when we had air police. So they were called air police. I absolutely believe. Awesome. I believe. Oh, yes, I believe. Awesome. When a child, strange things, and long story, but my husband has. Okay. So, and this story is that a fisherman and his son were out on their boat with their dog. And they were out fishing, is my understanding. And this craft came above them and was dripping something, was dripping like this metally, metal-like substance, and it was dripping. And when it dripped off of the craft, it burnt through their dog. I'm sorry, but I'm just sharing the story with you. And it actually harmed, I believe it was the dad got burnt by it also. So they got some of this slag, and they shared it with, the local police, and the air police came out to gather it. Or were they the men in black? I don't know. But they came out and they gathered this slag. They took off from the airport in Washington and made it to this side of Oregon, and the plane went down. So they weren't in the air very long, and the plane went down. Okay. So we had a map in the back of a book that suggested where this location was. Okay. It suggested where the location of the craft went down. And I was told weeks before in an interview where this was located. I drew a map 2 weeks before I even knew where I was going. And I drew the location. I drew where roads came together. I drew an X that marks the spot. So while Clyde was out walking, we were all out walking in the forest, basically. And I said, "This isn't right. Where's the other road?" And he looked at me and he's like, "What?" And I'm like, "There's another road." And all of a sudden a car started driving on this other road. And I said, "There it is." And he's like, "What?" And I said, "Yeah." So I said, "Then we keep walking and it should be to our right." And we found it. We found the location of where the plane went down. Several weeks later was the UFO festival here in Oregon at McMinnville. And I got to meet the author of that book live on radio. So I brought my little sketch, my little crappy drawing, because I'm not much of a drawer, you guys. I really am not. But I brought my sketch of the map that I drew. And I handed it to her when we were live on the air, and she said, "Where did you get this?" And Clyde was trying to ask her a question, and she looked at me again and she said, "Where did you get this?" And I said, "I drew it." And she goes, "No, where did you get this?" And I said, I drew it. I saw it. They told me to draw this." She pulled out a map that was of the area that was drawn by the person who found the plane, and it was almost identical. So it was crazy. It was a crazy experience. I was able to see the slag. I was able to see why the plane went down. I was able to see where the plane went down. And it was one of those experiences that I'll never forget. Now, that I didn't see. But when I was in Ireland, because I work with the Ghost Hunter Cruise Company, who's coming back loud and proud, coming back to take people all around the world to paranormal ports. So I will be sharing more about them and the exciting trips that we are going to be taking in the next few years very soon. But we did a land tour over in Ireland. Have any of you been to Ireland? Have any of you been to Ireland? The energy there is just different. It's very, very different. Well, because we have such a large group with us when we go to Ireland, we stay in places like castles. So we were staying in a castle because we have a large group of people. And we had gone out for the day in 3 different vehicles. 3 different vehicles, 3 different vans. Not Ireland, but Scotland. And the energy is different, right? Absolutely. In Scotland, I completely agree. And we all were out, and something happened to our GPSs because, oh, wow, that's cool, Heidi. Something happened to our GPSs. Something did, because we all came back to the castle 3 different ways. And people that were driving said that that the GPSs were glitching out and they were doing really weird things. Well, that could be anything, right? I mean, honestly, it could be anything, right? We don't know. So we all get back and everybody gets out of the vans and we get everybody safely into the castle. And a dear friend of mine, Ghost Hunter, came to me and said, we need to go outside right now. And he told the chef that we were working with to, come on, get your jacket. We're going outside. So I grabbed a blanket because I didn't have a jacket. So I just grabbed a wool blanket and we went out in front of this beautiful historic castle. And he says, I feel like something followed us. And this paranormal investigator. And I said, what do you mean? And he's like, it's over there. And he points. And when he points, me and the chef turn our heads and we look up into the sky, and no shit, there is a white light, and then it disappears. And then he says, no, the paranormal investigator goes, no, it's over there. And we turn our bodies, and this craft literally came within, gosh, I would say a car's length distance, hovering in the sky, came at us. And it came in sideways. And it had lights that were so bright that it literally burnt out one of my eyes. And I still don't see right in the dark anymore because it damaged one of my eyes. So it literally came in and it was so bright and it was sideways and it just blared light at us. And I mean, this is all in maybe 5 minutes. So we come out, he says, look over there. We look over, you can see a light. Boom. No, over here. So we turn our backs and we look, and this thing is, and it's big. It's as big as a bus sideways. It is bright. It is the brightest light I've ever seen. And it is shining at us. And then it shoots away. Like it's sideways. It's not like this, like you've seen other UFOs. Okay. It's not like this. It was like this. And it came in at us. And I mean, it came in at us. This thing was so close. It was so close. And it happened within minutes. And it left. And the paranormal investigator that I was working with and the chef and I just looked at each other. And then we looked back at the paranormal investigator who many people know, and he started to shake. He started to go almost into convulsions. He was shaking really hard. So I took my blanket off and I wrapped it around his shoulders because I didn't know what else to do. And I said, are you okay? And he says, good night then. And he just walks into the house, the castle. And me and the chef just stare at each other like, did you see what I saw? Did you? So it was all three of us, not just one person, but three of us experiencing the exact same thing. Mind blowing. So we didn't talk about it for 5 years. I saw him twice a year. We never talked about it. It never got brought up, ever. And finally, when he did his last tour with the Ghost Hunter Cruises, good morning. When we did I said, I have to ask you, what did we see? And he said, it was a craft. And I said, I knew that. I knew it was a craft. I knew it was. I said, but why didn't we talk about it? And I think all of us were in complete denial that we saw it. But the one question that I have is, did they pick us up when we first saw them? And the second time, they dropped us off. And I think that's the question that none of us wanted to pose to each other. There wasn't any missing time. There wasn't any missing time that I know of. but and there was two separate sightings, one to this one side, and then we say, there it is. And then a few minutes later, we're looking at this extremely bright craft that goes away. So I don't really know. I really don't know. Yeah, Marcy says, I was so scared of aliens after I saw a UFO. You know, I've always, time if not existence may not be relevant. True. But most people who have a UFO experience have a marked missing time. So, yeah. So, let's see, have you ever thought about hypnosis? No way. Yeah. See, that scares me. So that says something to me. The fact that I'm scared to see, have any of us had medical issues since the experience? Not, I mean, I've always had medical issues though. So I really, Sarah, can't answer that because I have so many medical issues anyways. Is it possible that some of the group were taken? That's what I wonder. If, yeah, that'd be so scary. Hypnosis would be just so scary. Usually, you feel like Elizabeth feels like if we talk about it, we bring it to us. Why are we all so scared of them? So many of us go into the darkness and look for ghosts. Okay, guys, let me break it down Barney style for you. Almost everybody in here is a ghost hunter. So we go into the forest looking for Bigfoot. We go into haunted locations looking for the dead. But there's something to be said about UFOs and aliens. Monica says they probably put you in a trance and did a quick scan of you. That might be it. That could be it. Tammy says, yes, typically time lost. I'd love to share my childhood experience because it was similar. I'd love to have you on sometime and we can talk about it. Because they do experiments on humans. Yeah. And I mean, that's one thing that is a suggestion, right? Absolutely. So at the end of this month, you guys know that I am going, because they are physical beings. That might be it. My husband and I drove to Mount St. Helens and sit there in the dark and watch the skies. People think you're crazy. Shit, no, I don't think you're crazy. Probably because you were afraid you weren't going to be returned to Earth. Yeah. So, I think this next week, the week after next, I'm headed to Mount Shasta for the first ever Spirits and Angels retreat that I am putting on with Jody, Chaplain Jody. And we're going to be in Mount Shasta, which Mount Shasta is widely known for visitations by UFOs, Bigfoot. And we believe it's because it's a physical vortex. It is what is known as the base chakra of the world. And there's many sightings. Yeah, Jody's great. There's many sightings in these locations, and I'm going to go with an open mind. Now, even saying that scares me, but I am going to go with an open mind and an open heart, and I am going to spend some time in the dark. See, I'm starting to get nervous. And see what I can experience. I do believe, I agree with you guys that you can call in UFOs. I do believe psychics and spiritualists have a light to them. And I do believe that we shine a little bit brighter, and so we are easy to see. And I don't think that it's that we're just easy to see by spirits. I think we're able to be seen by all different sorts of beings that can just simply see us easier. Hi, sister love. So, I was about to say, I share your sensitive when it comes to aliens. I know, I can't wait. We were just talking about Mount Shasta and how There's UFO sightings. I was just talking about my UFO experiences. The experiences, hello. The experiences I've had with UFOs. So it's just, I don't know. I don't know why I saw it the way I saw it. All I know is that I'm scared of aliens versus Bigfoot. I'm not scared of Bigfoot. You think I would be? I know, Monica, you'll be there. But aliens just, is it because we watched E.T.? Did anyone else terrify you? E.T. terrified the shit shoot out of you? Yeah, maybe. Because E.T., even though the end was very wonderful and I learned to love E.T., I learned to love him, but when he did that thing, that scared me. It scared me good. So I don't know if that was a little bit, some people, oh, there we go. Some people loved it. And that's great. And it's interesting because Ben Hansen, one of my dear friends, Ben Hansen, you guys know him, loved ET, and that's what made him want to learn about the things in the sky. I'm not afraid of aliens. I'm afraid of evil people. Yeah, well, we got plenty of those. So I just wanted to jump on this Monday morning and tell you all about my Palmer experiences. Wasn't that crazy? The flashlight moving. If you missed that, you can always go back and watch this again. The card of the day is awesome. So if you guys want to watch the YouTube version, YouTube is up. It will be live for you to watch again. I hope you guys have an amazing week. And I'm wearing my ET shirt. That's awesome. How did I know? I hope you guys have the most amazing week. And I'll see you next week. We can hang out a little more Mondays. So if you can't find my YouTube channel, it's Sarah Lemos. Just look that up and you should be able to find it. Also, don't forget, guys, to turn on the bell, because if you turn on the bell, you will always know when I go live. And the only reason I don't go live on Facebook anymore is because it doesn't tell my friends that I'm live. But if you subscribe to my channel, it will tell you. So it will tell you, and that way you can be a part of the Mystic Monday mornings as the tribe grows and we share things and we learn from each other. And so, of course, next Monday, I was thinking of what we could talk about. And I think it will be a surprise. I think I'll surprise you about next week, but it's going to be good. How am I doing? Thanks so much for checking in, guys. Yes, I'm in pain on and off. I'm just going to be real. But I am resting. I am very rested. I have some amazing mentoring appointments today. So I get to hang out with bunch of my students. This is our last week before the end of Pathways to Spirit for this time around. And so this is the last week. We're really focusing on gratitude. It's always important to stay in gratitude. And then in January, I will start up the next group of, we were going to start it sooner and we decided we're not going to, because I'm going to be offering an all new mediumship workshops. So more news coming about that, but we're going to be doing some more mediumship stuff, advanced mediumship stuff. So Sarah, I thought of you the entire time you were traveling. Oh, sweetheart, that's so sweet. I'm doing much better. I'm doing better. And as it goes, I have a very large, can't pass the kidney stone. And the cyst on my ovary will pop when it pops. So that's all they're saying at this point. So I'm going to be in pain for a little bit, but shoot, let's do this, right? So let's rock this world. Let's keep it going. So sending so much love to you guys. Mwah! Take care of yourselves. And like I said, if you want to come back and watch this, jump over to my YouTube channel And you can watch it, and I will post it in the Tribe That Thrives. So you guys take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful week, and we'll talk real